Good morning, listeners, and welcome to this morning's session. Just before we go into our topic of the day, just a reminder about our exciting Plumbing Industry Awards coming up on the 28th of July. If you haven't booked your tickets yet, please do so. And you can do that by sending an email to marketing@ouropsa.org. Guys, this is a very prestigious event, and we really encourage you to participate. And it's a time to bring out that elusive black tie and that suit and dresses for the ladies. Also, just a reminder that that we're in a period of COVID. We're still in a period of COVID, and the infection rates are up. So we need to be responsible to our staff, to our business, and also to our industry and our clients. So remember to keep wearing those masks, washing your hands, and just please be responsible out there and careful. So on to today's topic, which is a follow-on from last week. Last week, we spoke about having a great team. This morning, our topic is a great company culture requires great leadership. And with me today is Duncan, my partner in business and also my husband. And so before we kick off today's session, I'm just going to introduce ourselves. So I'm Mandy Keil, and as I said, I'm here with Duncan. Hello, Duncan. Would you like to briefly tell our listeners who we are?
Morning, everyone. My name is Duncan, and I am the visionary of the UPP Group. My role is to look into the future, to see what the sign of the bus is so that everybody getting on the bus can actually know in what direction we're going in. So that is primarily what my role is. And obviously, as a leader of this business, as a chairman, as a founder, my biggest role is to encourage and to motivate us and to keep us in line with our culture, our values, and our vision. Thank you.
Thanks, Duncan. And I'm Mandy, and as I said, I'm Duncan's partner in the UPP Group. And together we've also founded a coaching business called Coach Up, where we mentor and guide people within our industry into leadership and empowerment. So today we hope to add value through what we are going to be discussing with you. So just a recap of what we discussed last week, because it is a two-part conversation that we are having. And it all stemmed from Steve's question to me 3 weeks ago about how do you make sure that when you go out there as a business owner, you are speaking to your clients and you are telling them what your business is about, what your company is about, and what they're going to experience through using your company. But how do you make sure that when you hand over to your team, to your staff, that your client is going to have that same experience that you are saying that they're going to have? So this is a continuation. And we just want to, we looked last week at how to build a great team, and you can check it up on the LMS system if you just want to recap on that. One of the things that I touched on in last week's talk is that of your company culture. And what makes up your company culture are your core values of your business. And then what gives your business direction is the vision of your business. Now, I'm not talking about that vision that a whole lot of us put up there about being the best and all of that type of thing. I'm talking about a very specific direction. In our business, we call it, we've got a 3-year, 5-year, and 10-year target. So it is really something that we are growing and building towards, and that's our vision. Duncan spoke about the sign of the front of the bus. And in order for our team members to know where we're going, they need to be able to see that sign, that name on the front of the bus that tells us where we are going to. So in our experience, the combination of our company culture, which is made up of the core values of our business, this is what gives our business a competitive edge. Because let's face it, guys, we're all in the same industry. Many of us are going out there with the same message in terms of what services we provide to our clients and how they're going to experience those services. But in order for that synergy to happen throughout our business and throughout our client experience, you need to have a strong foundation, and this is the foundation of your business. Like I said last week as well, while this is key to your business, your role in your business is also critical. And this morning, we're going to touch on this second point, and that in order for a great company culture to operate, to work, and to create that synergy, it requires your great leadership. So I'm just going to start off with a quote. There are many quotes and books and all kinds of content out there on leadership. But I think one of the quotes that really resonate with me is that leadership, so you being the owner of the business, you being a director, a CEO, whatever that title is that you have in your business, leadership is not about titles. It's not about positions. It's not about your flow charts and your processes. All of those are obviously really important, but leadership and who you need to be to your staff and within your business and within the industry, it's all about influence. And so this is why I love this quote by John Maxwell, where he says, leadership is not about titles, positions, or flow charts. It is about one life influencing another. And this is why I have asked Duncan to join us here today. I joined UPP Group in 2008, and Duncan had founded the business many years before that, in the late 1990s. And he's been through a lot in terms of his experience in the successes of the business and the times the business has failed in various ways, and having to come out of that. And I know that Duncan is passionate, he's absolutely passionate about leadership, about growing others, about empowering others. And he's done that through being coached himself as well. And so that is why I thought it would be great to bring him in here this morning, just to chat to him about his experience of leadership. And so I'm just going to ask Duncan a question to start off with. And Duncan, in your opinion, what makes a person a leader, and what does a great leader do?
Thank you, Mandy. I think for me, starting off a plumbing business and coming, from school and all of that, and not really understanding what leadership was all about, and just getting stuck into the day-to-day sort of runnings of a business, or trying to run a business at the time, and not really knowing that leadership is about influence. And if you want to be a great leader, you need to understand the word influence. You really need to research it, or to start learning it about in your business, that you can apply this influence each and every day. And influence is not it's not intimidation, it's not force, it's not being the boss. It's about being a leader. And leadership is broken down for me very easily, and I use the word influencer. And so I just there's an acronym that I use every single day, and I remind myself of what a leader should be, an influencer. And I've broken it down into, if you just write out the word influencer, you've got the I, which is the very first part, and the I stands for integrity. I've got a saying in our business, it's called think, say, do. Now you've got to think about something, you've got to say it, and then you've got to do it. And integrity, that sums it all up. It's about just leading with integrity. And we also have another saying in our business, it's called do it right, and do it right now. And that just, it's about you actually stepping out the boat, going to work on the integrity of your business. And people are always going to ask you three questions, as a leader. They're going to say, can I trust you? Are you committed to this company and to this vision? And do you care about a person like me who is starting out as an apprentice, or as a journeyman, or whatever it is? And that's what integrity for me means. So the big I in the beginning is for that. Then we move on to the next letter, which is N. And for me, N means nurturer, someone that is loving, someone who is looking after his people and his company, someone who is not not about themselves. It's a person who likes to motivate and encourage and watch people develop and watch people grow. There's nothing better in life than watching someone, you know, who starts with nothing and becomes, becomes something, becomes successful. And I think in life, successful means to be successful within your own self. Yes. And as a leader, that's great. You can be successful because that's what you have to do. You have to start with yourself. But to be significant is a lot different. It's about what a leader's journey is to helping others. And when you are helping others, those people are going on to add value to other people. And that's when you become significant. And then the next journey from significant is to become unforgettable. Now, when you notice and you hear the passion that people talk about what they love and how they are as leaders, you hear it in their voice, you hear it in how they speak. And that is definitely the leaders that I want to grow. And if I train one leader, that leader will go out and train 4 or 5. And that is what we want to do, empowerment into this industry. That's what we want to do, is help people. So the next one in there is F, and it's called faith. Now, faith is, faith has got many meanings, but in this context, faith is about faith in having the people in your business and having faith that they are going to do the right thing. As a leader, you must really believe in your staff. You must believe that, they are going to do what we've decided to do. They're going to follow the vision, and you need to keep them on board. And yes, you know what? They are going to make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes, but it's always like, we have a saying in our business: mistakes are cool. It's not really that, mistakes are that cool, but mistakes are cool because it teaches you something. You learn from it. And, sometimes we win and sometimes we learn. So it is about that faith. It's believing in people. The other thing that we need to do as a leader, and we move on to the next letter, which is L, is to listen. Wow, that is one of the hardest lessons I've had to learn throughout my business, especially being in the industry for over 30 years now. And I've got the status of a master plumber, and I can just take the recognition and say, oh, I'm a master plumber. I don't need to listen to nobody. But that's not right. A leader is someone who listens. That's why God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth. It's because he needed you to know that you need to listen more than you speak. And, sometimes as a boss, or not a boss, a leader, it's very difficult. And you have to allow people to finish what they're saying. You have to be open to what they are saying. And that is very difficult as a leader sometimes. And it's a lot of hard work, but you get it right by day-to-day progress and day-to-day practicing that. Then let's move on to the next thing, which is U, which is understands. An influencer understands people. He looks at what they've achieved. And to understand the heart, you must look at their dreams. They must know what they want to become. And as a leader, that's what I encourage guys. I take their vision, I look at their values, and I ask them, what is their dream? What is their dream? Meaning, like Martin Luther King said, I have a dream. And I have a dream in this company. And one day I'm going to empower 100,000 people. And that is my dream in 10 years' time. That is our target. That is our company target. And we are all working towards that. And that's the dream, to empower. My dream is to empower this industry. And that's a huge dream, but it takes a strong leader to do that. The next letter we move on to is the E, which is enlarge. An influencer enlarges people, makes them bigger than who they are. How do you grow an organization? You need to grow people. And how do you grow people? You need to grow yourself. Key area, grow yourself. Nothing can happen without you growing yourself. And then the next thing that we move on to, the next letter is N, and it's called navigate. An influencer navigates for people, shows the people the paths, provides direction, has a clear vision. Like we said in the beginning, the sign on the bus, you're standing there waiting for a bus. The only reason you get onto the bus is because you've looked at the sign of the bus and it says, I'm going to Randburg, or I'm going to Soweto, or wherever I'm going. And a leader, he navigates his team through the tough times and the good times. And then the next letter we've got is C, which means connects. An influencer connects with people. You don't just communicate, you connect. When you connect with someone, it's almost like you're tapping into their heart, you're tapping into their dream, you're tapping into everything that they're about. and you want to have a make a difference type of mindset. And that's what a leader does. And you know what? I need to find out how you tick. What is your passion so that I can tap into that and help you? And as coaches, this is what Mandy and I do. We take you on these paths and we grow you. And especially being a plumber myself and being a master plumber now and being a coach, I have grown myself. And that is what I can do to this industry, is add value to guys, to get you that motivation, to give you that encouragement so that you can be the person and have the dreams that you want. And the next letter we move on to is the second last, the penultimate one, which is E. And a leader empowers. An influencer empowers people all the time. An empowering person means you helping, you know what the needs of the people are. You set them up for success. You add value to them and let them become significant, as I said before. And you know what? Once you become significant, the journey moves on to becoming unforgettable and unbelievable. And let us move on to the last topic, which is the R. An influencer reproduces, and they reproduce people. So that means that there's a succession plan. There are people coming underneath you that are trained, and they can go out and train other people. When you influence a child, you influence a life. When you influence a worker, you influence a company. And when you influence a leader, he grows other leaders. So thank you from me, guys. And just remember, influencer, learn it, study it, practice it every single day as a leader. And as you grow this country, this beautiful country of ours, you empower, you go out there and be great leaders. Thank you.
Wow, thanks. Well, that was truly inspirational. I don't know about what you guys thought, but for me, that was very empowering. So I'm going to wrap up today, but just by bringing up everything that Duncan spoke about, the I being integrity, the N for nurture, the F for faith in your people, the L for listening. And I did have a chuckle over there because, like I said, I am also Duncan's wife, and you know, he hears that often. You don't listen. I think all wives say that. So he's learned right here in our relationship as well. So that was quite funny. U is for understanding people. You know, in the past week or two, I spoke about connecting with people, Dunks, that in order to understand people, you really need to connect with them, not just speak to them, talk into them, but to really engage with your people in your business to understand what makes them tick. And by connecting with them, they're going to start listening to you. And I think that's quite important. And then enlarging and growing people, navigating this environment we're in, it comes back to connecting, like I said, empowering, and then reproducing in terms of growing others, and so that they can also go out and grow more people. And that is how we will make a difference. You know, I remember a story that I once heard of this little boy on a beach, and there were all these starfish that had washed up onto the beach, and he was picking them up one at a time and throwing them back into the water. And this man came along on a walk, and he saw what this boy was doing, and he went to them and to this boy, and he said, "What are you doing?" And the boy said, "I'm saving the starfish." And this man looked at all the starfish on the beach, and he looked at this boy, and he just, you know, he was so cynical, and he said to the boy, "You're never going to be able to save these starfish." And the boy looked at him, he picked up another starfish, and he threw it in the water, and he said, "But I saved that one. I made a difference to that one." And I think if I can wrap up today with what leadership is about, it's about making that difference to that one person that then goes on to make a difference to another. And yeah, and so Steve, I think that's it from our side today on how to be a leader in your business and what that takes. And so I'm not sure if there are any questions from our listeners this morning.
There aren't any questions currently. Is there anything you'd like to add, Steve?
Yeah, good morning, Duncan and Mandy. Thank you very much. I can relate very clearly to that starfish that was thrown back and saved, because my journey was exactly the same. The challenges that I had as a youngster, and everybody going, "There's no hope." But then when you look and somebody invests in you, and all of a sudden you start to grow, and you invest and people invest in you, and then you are where you are. So just like Duncan says, he's got to that position of being a master plumber. That comes from investment in terms of yourself and people, that's it. So I think that resonates very well with me, that, it's taking the time out to spend time with people to make a difference. So wonderful. Thank you very much for this morning.